3/4 pipe full flow. Means if the cross section, if we look at the cross section of the pipe, it is between 2/3 to 3/4 flow, and based on the peak flow, which is in the morning hours, maybe area wise it is different, but generally between 6:30 to 9:30 or 7 to 10 a.m. in the morning. So based on that peak flow, the pipe diameter is designed, and soil.
Can you please show one slide?
The flow of liquid and the solids in the pipe, it is designed for, as per the hydraulic design, it is designed, the pipe diameter is selected for the peak flow. Peak flow is in normally 3 hours. Rest of the 20 hours or so, the pipeline has an average flow or a very minimal flow, which is 5 to 10% of the daily average flow per hour or per minute. So here the first case is the minimal flow or very less flow, where line carry is an issue for the self-cleansing velocity for the solids to reach at the destination, whether it is septic tank or even the sewage treatment plant. Here it is flowing almost 40%, but solids and the liquid velocity will push the solids, floating particles to the required place. So, of course, subject to the available volume and the velocity. And when the pipe is full, then the entire design, the solids will stick to the periphery of the pipeline, and which will create lot of problem.
Apurva, what are the hours for the peak flow during the day?
Maximum 3 hours. Morning, normally between 7 to 10 a.m. in the morning.
Thank you.
Yeah, so this is the principles on which basic pipe diameter selection is done. And for black water, where solids are there, this is very important. Grey water, normally solids are not there, but floating particle is much more. Kitchen waste has also solid particle. And generalized, see, very few codes are very specific on what kind of flow, because all codes are talking about peak flow. But which quality pipeline and detailed design or research is not done in any of the code. Uniform Illustrated Plumbing Code talks about everything in one pipe, which is a flowed path, so I am not going to talk anything on that. But line carry is very, very important, which we have also partially discussed with less flow, which we are doing right now with the WCs, 4 liter or a 6 liter flush. The solids can reach maximum up to 18 meters. Considering all push and everyday push, it can reach up to maximum 18 meters, not beyond that. So that issue also is another issue, how to do that and how we can take care of it. That is something we need to look at it. So that point we need to address as far as flow is concerned. And
also, can I question?
Yeah, you can.
Snehalban, 1 minute. Can I intervene, Apurva?
Yeah.
The Unified Plumbing Code was designed, or what was the origin of UPC? And because we have Mary with us, and this is helpful to her.
Yeah.
Who were the people who
advocated? Plumbing code is a one pipe system where every wastewater, grey water, basically kitchen waste, and even soil waste, every different quality waste discharged in one pipe, and that one pipe will take water to the ultimate sewage treatment plant or wherever it is disposed of. So that is what is covered under Uniform Illustrated Plumbing Code. But India, we have National Building Code, and National Building Code largely advocate for 2 different quality pipeline, that is wastewater separate, that is we call grey water, and the soil waste is separate. And of course rainwater is definitely separate, but this is the basics of the codes which we are following as far as practice is concerned in India.
Okay, hey Mary, this is something for you to take it further. Unified Plumbing Code was introduced by California engineers. And
UIPC is Unified Illustrated Plumbing Code India, but it is made by IAPMO. IAPMO is an international association of plumbing and mechanical officials, and this code is practiced in 70 countries.
thank you.
Can continue.
So my point is that they talk about low flow, then the dry drain prevention science says that it cannot travel more than 18 meters. And for that we draw more water and use it as a liquid conveyor. And then we have a problem with water scarcity and problem with the size of the STPs and declare it not sustainable or costly. And what is not affordable, is that a solution for the world? These are the fundamentals I have been hammering upon from the day one, that drainage science goes much beyond STPs. Abu, you told me something else in the morning. So sorry, Snellji, I'm taking a little long, but it's relevant, so I'm telling. You 20 years ago you shared your observation with me.
Yeah. See what we have observed. See, during my learning process, see what was happening is near the manhole or near wherever there were junctions of the pipeline or the loose connections, we come across the foul smell.
Chambers.
And that foul smell led us to observe that, we were knowing that when organic degradation happens, the microbes do the work and foul gases are released. So we were convinced that some process or the work is done or half work is done. Then why to worry about the sewage treatment plant, or why to make it carry to the further distance, and what are we achieving by doing all this? So these were the basic questions which I was asking myself and referring to books, and then with the conversation with Munibai, we started going little deeper, and today we are at this level whereby microbial and organic degradation in a scientific way, what is done and how it is done is further understood and explained to all of us by our expert Dr. Raval. Anyway, now you take over.
Dr. Snell, you can take over. Now, I'm sorry to have taken your time, but you can.
No, not an issue. It was just regarding recently I have also observed that the pipelines at some places are being changed. And in that case, they are using certain kind of material to use for the laying of the pipelines. So what kind of material would be good? That is what is my question to even Ravalji and Apurva both. That what kind of material is good? Of course, you have said about the volume wise, then how to decide about the diameter and all. But about the material, because as we understand, it's rodents are there a lot, as well as that the gravity with which it has to flow. Because many a times when it comes to pumping, probably that pumping also is affected, and then that flow is affected to reach this sewage to the STPs. So for that point of view, I just wanted to know how to decide about the material. Today there are several material which is available, so how to decide about that?
Snail bin, 8-inch or now perhaps 12-inch foul. Beyond that, only HDP is used, like 6 feet diameter, 8 feet diameter. And I have seen YouTube where 6 meter diameter HDP pipe being laid. The point is, every pipe has a joint, fusion joint, thermal fusion at 6 meter, or 1 meter bigger dia pipe is coming as a layers of kind of cloth paper kind of thing, which is spiraled, and then we in childhood we used to draw a tube and it used to telescope and become a big stick, or when you push it back it becomes a small tube. So that is in a truck, full truck load of this HDP membrane is brought, which are a meter or 1.5 meter in width, and is in a huge length. But then when you spiral, at every turn there is a joint. And that joint becomes the obstruction for auto cleansing velocity. You see, one solution leads to other, and that will happen everywhere. The point is, wastewater is about the climate health and public health. In UPC, Unified Plumbing Code does not address pathogen elimination. तो मैंने जो दक्षियानी जी को बोला था कि फंडामेंटल्स बैलेंसिंग साइकिल का पता नहीं है. आप डेविडसन या ट्रायम्फ चलाने की बात करते हो. The point is, why can't we address fundamentals? हाँ स्नेहल जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं तो कह सकते. You can.
नहीं, let Apurva ji continue.
Okay.
Further we can have question.
Yeah, earlier, see, we don't have that PVC pipe or a long pipe manufacturing facilities, so we were only restricted to stoneware pipe. Then later on, RCC hume pipe came in picture, Snailman. And then RCC hume pipe, with little research, sulfate resisting RCC hume pipe is a codal requirement. No one manufacture RCC pipe which are with sulfate resisting cement. So what happens, H2SO4 or even hydrochloric acid is ensuring that concrete is rather broken because of the oxidation or because of the on durability ground, because of acid and alkali reaction. Concrete, it does not remain stable, and then pipeline's life, which we consider 30 to 50 years depending upon the type of structure, but as per design code it is around 30 to 40 years.
Apurva, just sorry my interjection. The point is, the acid cement neutralization reaction has maximum 18 to 20 years of life. So the pipeline you are talking is 30 to 60 years. 30 years up to 2 feet diameter, and above 2 feet diameter it is 50, 60 years. But the joint cement strength holds true only for 20 years.
Yeah.
The leakage starts from there onward.
Yeah.
Snellji, we are talking this outside before or and after STPs. Apurva, please.
Yeah, so that was the challenge we faced, and because of that, what was happening is even the full flow was not reaching to the treatment place, whether it is STP or a primary tank or even the septic tank, and the observation or recording were never meeting what are the design parameters.
Apurva, I have something to add here. You told me 20 years ago that half of the process is already over in the drainage line before the fecal matter enters the STP.
Yes, that's what I said again here.
Now, you are repeated here that the manhole is smelling.
Yes.
Now, the microbial process says that when H2S smells, the secondary process is over. And engineers have somehow found out primary process, secondary stage. In secondary stage world over, sludge is not smelling. They call it a successful treatment. In fact, biological treatment is over only when hydrogen sulfide starts smelling. So engineers have no idea. STP engineers, I mean. What is H2S? What is primary? What is biological? What is secondary? Primary settlement is all for settlement of the grit and sand particles, which is not produced by human body.
Yes.
We are bringing the whole trace of the world into the drainage line and then evolving its technology to separate those exotic material. And along this sand and soil and so many other things, there are exotic creatures, protozoa, rotifers, Daphnia and all that. Now they are taken as the reliable index of a successful plant. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, the basic talk is mainly that, see, these are the basic fundamental on which we were, let us say, the pipe diameter or the volume and all.
Yeah, Apurva, I want to take a little more time on
Yeah.
the accidental finding I shared with you,
Yeah.
and I shared it with Snail Ben also. I just want to show you my capital-free experiment. Can you see this date?
Yeah.
3rd 11, then 13th 11, and 11. These are my capital-free laboratory experiments to learn the basics. Now, for last 1 year I was working on this. When I used to cut my nail and beard, I used to keep those nails and all that in a bottle like this. These are 200 ml bottles, 100 ml bottles in water. And for 6 months, my nails and beard hair did not degrade. For 6 months, Apurva.
Yeah.
Now I'm taking this to the solid waste management. Now we have salons, barber shop, and beauty parlors and all that. There are so many such waste. In the second experiment, they take 311. I put a 1/4 teaspoonful of soil along with water. Within 10 days, the nails disappeared. So I requested Dr. Pate to donate me his nails, which were, so he was good enough to give me that. Then my wife also had a very frequent hair fall, so I put a bunch of hair in the bottle itself. And once this thing was ready, this 13th day, November, within 4 days things happen. We don't want to see nature which is in front of us. And we're talking about innovative technology, billions of dollars and trillions of liters of water. Creating wastewater. There is nothing like wastewater on this planet. Water is water. The point is that hair disappeared because you see keratin is a very, 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 very strong molecule. Snellgy in light of carbon hierarchy. And there are slaughterhouses, and there are, even in villages, the cat, this goat, cow, they die. Though there may not be a slaughterhouse. But their hoof and their horn. In Sasan forest, I have seen the cows which died 2-3 years ago, their horns have not degraded. In the Gir forest, I am talking live visual observation. But we don't want to think. We are worried. We are more worried about the money that we have spent after tourism. So let us enjoy. Nature can be enjoyed only with knowledge. The rest is capital terrorism. The point is that every village has some cows dying. Their hoof and horn, they are all same material, chemically speaking. And they have the same biological machinery, the microbes, working on the degradation. Now my solid waste, I was talking with Snellji, Delhi solid waste seal is 67 meter high and Qutub Minar is 72 meter. We are only 5 meters short of Qutub Minar. But that experiment begins with here. Now I am working with some technical institutions for scientific validation, because scientific validation will come only from the scientific studies made in the laboratory. And the engineering laboratories are not concerned with the ground reality. जो दक्षिणानी जी कर रही है उसका साइंटिफिक वेलिडेशन के लिए देयर इज नो कॉलेज विलिंग टू टेक इट अप. So she had some of the wonderful observations, but the bridge is not. So that is called misophoson. From lab to loose, from laboratory to reality, ground reality, whatever the connection, that is missing. So laboratory publications stay there, ground reality observations stay there, and none of them join hands. And unless we join hands, the answer is not going to be available. Why do we need answer? Not to clean a lake. Once Dakshayani ji has cleaned a lake, she would like to scale it up. And scaling up requires understanding. Okay, Apurva, I may have to join some other session. Unless we have something science to talk, I don't think we can. Boliye, please.
So the another point which we were talking, and even recently one very big observation came when we do some retrofitting of pipeline whose in my society, rather in front of my bungalow, where 50-year-old pipeline we were changing, and I came across a pipeline which is full of sludge. Stoneware piping with a 50-year age. I have already shared its photograph and everything in the Wow Action Forum WhatsApp group. Maybe some of you must have gone through it in detail. But the idea is, we don't know what is inside the pipeline, or we talk about end of the pipeline or start of the pipeline or end of the sewage treatment plant and all that. Yeah. Your voice is not coming.
How old is the chamber?
The chamber and the pipeline were 50-year-old.
Ah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then we took the sample to give it for the metagenomic analysis. Unfortunately, that analysis could not run, and we could not find out the result. Otherwise, that we have given for the testing also. And we could have got the 16 sRNA sample.
Apurva, who sponsored your work?
No one. I was to bear the
Expense?
It was 8,000 plus GST, 18%, 9,600 rupees for a test.
I salute you, Apurva. You are personally, but unless we beat our own drums on the scientific ground, nothing can be achieved. Thank you.
Pipeline layouts and laying. It is also talked about the distance, because the distance that it has to travel. So what do we suggest about that? Because because of the travel distance only, today we are pushing it with all kinds of water, diluting it and pushing it. So what will you talk about that?
Yeah. So we last time also discussed and we conveyed that this place of generation where the sewage is generated, so every building should have the place of treatment as far as black water is concerned, and only solid free sewer should travel. It can then, once the black water is solid free, we can even mix with grey water or even other water if what kind of usage ultimately is there. But we should.
Snellman, we have a session at 6 and because there is no one working, I'm thinking about the science. So we have one more session and you are also likely to join. So will it be possible for us to shorten today, or allow us to leave?
Yes. Okay. If at all there is no question, we can do that.
But whatever existing is in stark contradiction to the laws of travel that Apurva is saying. We want our car to be parked right in my ground, but we do not want STP within 50 meters. We can have ODP, we can have Pizza Hut and everything, every 100 meters. But we don't want something that is so serious and close to us. Thank you. Yes.
Let me first say it was very useful. But I think it's primarily useful for those who are in the business of plumbing. Unfortunately, I don't belong to that. But I have some fairly naive questions to ask Apurva. What Munikumar is talking about, the problems of poor understanding of science, whereas what Apurva is talking about is what is really happening on the ground and what is on this, Apurva and Munikumar. Moving solids requires large application of water, I understand, from Ramanji, right? That's where the fault line begins. I just want to ask you, quite because I'm a layman, that is it possible that there could be some other ways in which it could be re-engineered, keeping the science in mind? For instance, would airflow help? If you don't have sufficient water, will air help? What type of air we can get it? Will stirring help? I mean, do we need to do that? Because we can think of 6 pipelines. Nobody's going to do that. So we've got to be a little more.
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I want
Gopali, fundamental resistance. If we have 20 lane highways, not threatening our life in any way, 4 pipeline system is only to 20 to 25 meter or 50 meter lane. Because we are stuck with hundreds and thousands of kilometers of pipeline, sewerage lane. And we want to fit every solution suitable to thousands of kilometers. We'll have to change. When I am in acute diabetic condition, the doctor says not even a cup of tea with sugar is allowed. I must accept it or I must thank you this. Coverage is for the people who are likely to die in the process. Why do you create? Why do you create? I didn't go there. I refused. And then when Apurva, what was our lady Patel?
Anandiben Patel.
Anandiben, yes, she was the chief minister. She said, "Why? What is wrong in your coming?" I said, "There is nothing wrong in my coming. I have something hugely wrong and objectionable with the agenda you are saying." अच्छा, अब 15 लोग जाएंगे अंदर चैम्बर में, 20 लोग मर जाएंगे या 5 लोग मर जाएंगे तो उसकी फैमिली को will pay that much of coverage, insurance. Is that what we are talking? That's not science. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That is murder. That's murder. That is murder.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I said
Murder is by design, but nobody is taking the responsibility, and that is why.
No, Apurva, that responsibility is with you and me.
Yes, is by design. That's what I
Who's a designer? It is not with the contractor.
It's by design, by design school or whatever present prescription.